Hello and welcome to Belsari Advanced ENT Center's YouTube channel. We are your host. I am Dr. Yash.
And I'm Dr. Shreya. And today we're diving into a very fascinating topic in the world of nasal surgery, rhinoplasty.
Today with us, we have Dr. Sai Belsare Keruskar, who will be sharing her expert insights about all things rhinoplasty.
So ma'am, in technical terms, what exactly is a rhinoplasty and what makes it such a delicate and specialized surgery?
So that's a very good question. Rhinoplasty is a surgical procedure which is done using modification of the bone, the cartilage and the soft tissue of the nasal structure. If it is done only to improve the external appearance, then we call it a cosmetic rhinoplasty. So since it is a surgery which is done at a millimeter level, it is extremely demanding as a surgeon also, because you need to have a good surgical expertise and you also need to have an artistic acumen to understand that how this few changes, subtle changes, they can make major visual impacts.
Now ma'am, people often think a rhinoplasty is just a beauty fix, but it has some medical significance too, right? So here's the real question. Can a nose job actually help you breathe better, not just look better?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's misconception that most people have. There are a lot of patients who come to me who just say who have difficulty breathing at night, or a blocked nasal passage, or sometimes even snoring. So in such patients, we offer them a functional rhinoplasty, or as I said, a septorhinoplasty, where we are correcting not just the external appearance but also the deviated septum. Some patients even have collapsed internal nasal valves, and some patients might even have enlarged turbinate. And there are many other pathologies which are there which can be corrected along with the rhinoplasty. So the patient will not just good looking nose at the end of the day, but also a good breathing passage, which is also, I think, more important.
So ma'am, we have heard that the surgery is not ideally done in children. So when do you think is the ideal age for rhinoplasty?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we prefer not to do this surgery in a pediatric age group, because as the ossification centers have not yet completely fixed, as the height is increasing, then facial bones are also increasing. So you might have to, even if you do a good surgery at say in a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, you might have to repeat it when he grows to 18 years. So we really avoid it till around 16 to 17 years of age. After that, definitely it can be done, and it will not need any revision.
So one of the most asked questions is that if a person wants to opt for the surgery, how many days of rest or recovery period should he expect?
Yeah, so this is actually a daycare procedure. So pertaining to the surgery, you can get admission in the morning and get operated, and most likely get discharged within a day or two. So this is not at all a painful procedure, and there is no intraoperative or post-operative pain as such. But for recovery, we suggest that you should at least have 10 days leave, because after the surgery, we put a splint in the nose which stays for around 5 to 7 days, which might be slightly uncomfortable to join back to work. And there is also plaster on the nose, so that also stays for around 10 days. So with that edema and the plaster, it gets slightly uncomfortable to resume work. So per se, you can take at least you need 10 days rest or leave.
Ma'am, so how do you as a rhinoplasty specialist counsel these patients?
Yeah, so when a patient is coming to me for a rhinoplasty, it is first very important to know what is the motive behind the procedure. Of course, there will be a deviated septum or an external appearance where there is a crooked nose, or a supratip break or a saddle nose. But it is very important that you know that what is the motive behind it. So some patients do come to us with a photograph of some film star or some influencer, and that sets some very unrealistic expectations. So it is our role as a doctor to inform the patient and give them a very correct idea of what we can expect at the end of the surgery. It is a surgical procedure, but we cannot be doing magic or something to suddenly change the entire appearance. So the nose is going to change, but the whole face is not going to change. So we have to explain to the patients, and for that we have a long counseling sessions. We do click pictures of the patients, and we explain on the photographs that what exactly is going to change and what will probably not change. So it's very important that we set realistic expectations for the patient. Of course, we try to achieve the best for every patient. For example, there are some patients who come to us. Say if a patient is coming from the northern part of India, from Punjab or Kashmir, a lot of them will have a hump on the nose. And if we just go ahead with the procedure without asking them that do you want that hump to be there or you want it to be removed, and for them probably it is something which is in their ethnicity, so they don't want it to be changed. So it's very important to discuss this very properly with the patients, that what are their expectations. So even a lot of patients who come to us who have seen pictures from patients from the US or in the Turkey or in these parts of the world, they give them a Barbie nose, like slightly a tip which is slightly raised. But if you see in the Indian population, that is not something which is sought after. We like the nose to be straight and with a certain right angle. So with every ethnicity, the requirement is different, and that's why a good discussion with the patient and the relatives is very important. I also try not to entertain a patient who has come alone. I prefer if that patient comes with the family, because sometimes it is just in a spur of a moment that you visit a doctor and you immediately plan a procedure and within you want a quick this thing. So sometimes that is something I would like to avoid, because a good discussion with the patient, with some relative or some reliable friend, is important to come to that decision that this is procedure that is being done.
So ma'am, if a patient wants to get the surgery done before a big milestone in their lives, like their wedding, how much prior should they plan for the surgery?
Very good question, because even if you do the surgery and the plaster comes off after 10 days, there is quite a lot of edema. So what we suggest is that at least 3 to 6 months is the minimum time for the edema to settle. We in fact say 1 year is the full period till which the edema is reducing, by few millimeter every single day. But at least 3 to 6 months is a good time that which will be required before you have some very important, let's say, wedding or engagement plan.
So before we end our talk today, I would like to ask you about any funny incident or an experience which you would like to share with us.
Yeah, so very recently actually, this patient came to me after 3 months after the surgery, where he wanted in writing that he has undergone a rhinoplasty, and I asked him what has happened. So it was his company iCard in which it was not getting detected because of his surgical procedure. It was not getting the face scan was not getting verified. This is an example of how transformative a rhinoplasty can be, and a good rhinoplasty can definitely your appearance, which can help to boost your confidence, and it can add to your personality.
Thank you, Dr. Sai, for sharing all this information with us. This will actually help a lot of people.
My pleasure.